Hey, Harpslingers, welcome to the Harpslinger Podcast, where each and every week we hang out with the greatest harmonica players in the music business. If you're watching this on the Hohner Music Facebook page, there's a live chat at the bottom of the chat. There's a share button. We really hope you'll share this to your own personal Facebook page. Help us spread the word about the Harpslinger Podcast, all these wonderful harmonica players in the music business that we're talking with every week. And if you're by any chance watching this on the Harpslinger YouTube channel, there's also a subscribe button there. Subscribe, hit the bell so we can keep you up to date on our new content that's coming out in the coming weeks. We've had some great artists on so far, so I encourage you to check out that back catalog, and lots of great artists coming up in the future, and we have a great artist today, so let's get to it. My next guest is a virtuoso harmonica player from France. She started playing at an early age and studied with Polish harmonica great Greg Zalap. She's also a vocalist, composer, and recording artist, specializing in modern dance, soul, rock, blues, and pop. Easily one of the best players around. Please welcome Hohner artist Rachelle Plas. Hi, Rachelle. How are you? Great to meet you.
Hi, yeah, I'm very happy to be there. Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Oh,
I'm very honored, and yeah, what a pleasure to be there.
well, back at you. I'm honored to have you on the show. I've been a fan for a while now. Thank goodness we have the internet because, at one time I would not maybe have been aware of you, but because I can surf YouTube all day, I can go watch your videos and check you out. So it's been a great pleasure to learn about you and to hear your playing. You also play the Golden Melody, which is one of my favorite harmonicas. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I'd love to do some preliminary talking about your formative years. I know you live in Paris now, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. In France, Paris, in France.
Yes, it's a
Absolutely. Yeah,
beautiful.
in the small quarter in the east, northeast of Paris. It's really some small streets with a lot of people, and usually without the sanitary crisis, there's a lot of food, of small things. Um, yeah, that's a really living side of Paris.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful city. I love it. One of my favorite places. So are you originally from Paris or did you grow up outside the city?
Now I grew, sorry, up on at Passy-sur-Eure in 27th. It's Évreux en fait, dans le 27 in 27. It's in the west of France, but not far from Paris, 100 kilometers in the west. And yeah, it was the place of my childhood and when I was a teenager. But with my parents, we were a lot coming in Paris really often, every weeks. And when I was a teenager, when I took harmonica lessons from the age of 8 to
Wow.
14 with
Wow.
Greg, we were just coming Paris every Saturdays for the harmonica lessons during the afternoon.
Uh-huh.
And after we took the time to visit museums, doing a lot of things. There's a million things to do in Paris. Even when you are living there, you're always a tourist in this town. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. It's so big. There's a lot of profusion of things everywhere to do, to see. You can go to a place and come back and see other things in the same place. It's crazy.
yeah,
Usually, normally now it's there's nothing to do.
yeah. I know it's because of the pandemic, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
same here. Hopefully we can get back to real life really soon. But it sounds
Hmm.
like you have really supportive parents. That's wonderful. They exposed you to the arts,
Yeah.
bringing you into
Yeah.
Paris to learn harmonica at such an early age. I mean, most children at that age are not really picking out their instrument necessarily.
Mm.
You seem like
Mm.
you were an early starter. What got you interested in the harmonica?
I started harmonica at 5 years old. I was playing flute before. This one,
Huh?
here.
Yeah.
And it was I was just reading music, and at this time, and I discovered harmonica because of Christmas. My parents gave me a harmonica and a small book with, and my mother took time to learn with me and to make me learning things and tell me, yeah, it's that just a 1, 2, 3, 4 holes to 10, and you have to draw and blow and draw and blow and try to make one note by one note. So it was a moment we shared together daily, in fact, and it was so nice and fun, and step by step, 10 minutes a day after 10 minutes a day, I was discovering harmonica, and from the age of 5 to 8, in fact, it was just some books of music for harmonica, especially learning books, in fact.
Mhm.
But I was, just learning harmonica by myself with CDs, and listening together, and studying the notes on the part, and also the numbers, because I discovered a second notation at this time. And what catch me in harmonica was the freedom of expression in this instrument. Really earlier and very soon, you have the ability to create finally something. When you are just blowing and drawing, you are creating something, and if you are just trying to play the song as it's expected, that's so great. But you have always a time in the song where you are just making your own effect, and the harmonica is an instrument with million effects, and your own style is just coming step by step. You are doing this like yourself. In fact, harmonica is really a personal instrument and a personal way of expression. And years after, when I started the harmonica lessons, I discovered to improvise,
Mhm.
really. And when I was improvising in those years when I was a young girl, it was really passionating, because it was a discourse, yes, a big discovery of the fact of creating real things, real part of music around the main theme we were just playing together. And each 3 months in the school with Greg, we were making concerts every 3 months, sorry.
Uh-huh.
And we were on stage with all the friends of the school, just choosing our song we would like to play, our favorite ones, two favorite ones.
Right.
And we were just called on stage to play with the band, because it was always a real band behind us. So it was a real pleasure to see to play with the musicians. All right, yes, we are
Yeah.
coming with the friends playing together. So I have some photos, and maybe I think videos on internet of myself with a little girl with all the students of the school. And I remember the first time my mother was just telling herself how what I did. My little girl in this pub, this concert pub with the stage, and it was really not a place expected for a young girl, but it was really fun. And I think that this freedom of universe and I know that the discovering of the several universes that you can play with. I repeat, in fact, when you are playing harmonica, you can play different styles. Just it's really various styles, as there is a lot of ones. And for example, Latin music, jazz, blues, rock, folk
Mhm.
songs, also like the Bob Dylan music, for example, the old bluesman. And when I was a little girl, I was just listening a lot the rhythm and blues, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles. Those are my first influences. And after that, I discovered, for example, to Stillmans, Jazzmans, and other instrumentists also. But one of my bigger references is also Charlie McCoy, and I'm playing his song Orange Blossom Special since I'm a little girl when I started harmonica lessons.
Mhm.
His song arrived one Saturday and I saw Orange Blossom Special, but I just started to play this song at 8 and
Oh.
now I always play it after. So I always play this song with my band on stage. It's so fun to play his music.
Yeah.
He's really a harmonica legend. And
Absolutely.
so all of those things and those creative possibilities that I touched with the harmonica and playing this music and discovering all the styles and the mind also of the music is just a sharing music. It's a relation. You are listening the musicians that where you are playing with. You are just not playing yourself alone, making your stuff. There's also some musical talkings like that, and this is really impressive and expressive. And I think that it's a whole package who catch me up. It was all of those things who told me, wow, what it is. It's so different and so close. In fact, I already know a little bit music with the flute, but it was really academic, well done, really. And I loved that a lot. But it's true that harmonica was, wow, what I can do with that. What
Right.
is this music? What that? Rachel? Oh, you don't know how much time I put it in the car. I was saying, yeah, put this CD, please. Put this cassette and CD, please. Again, again, and again.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was really the music I listened when I was young, a young child.
Amazing. Amazing. I love your journey so far. It's fantastic. Oh, and tell me about some of the French harmonica players that you enjoy listening to.
Greg, of course.
Right.
Jean-Jacques Milteau, Gigi Milteau. He is I try to say it in English, but my accent is not good. He is the doyen of harmonica in France.
Uh-huh.
Um, Also, some friends and Yano Barfoot, for example.
Mhm.
He is an amazing harmonica player from France. Vincent Buchet. Also, I think about some harmonica players I knew in the course. Also, Alexandre Tolon. Now he's another person who his stage name is Tough Sawyer. Tough Sawyer, it's Christophe Marcos. There's also I met also Christophe Dupeux, for example, Charles Pazy. Those two ones were playing with big French song stars
Mhm.
in France. And in France, there's also another harmonica player. His name is Christophe Maé. Christophe Maé is a big star of French songs in France, actually. And I know that I will forget
No, that's
some
okay.
persons who
There's a
will
lot.
recognize herself, and I will just
No, that-
they will cut my head off.
no, no, no,
Um,
no.
but so I'm so sorry for those that I won't tell. But it's true that there's a lot of persons in France who are playing harmonica very well, and who I can, yeah, Michel Herblanc,
Okay.
a great melodist. I don't know if you know all those names.
I, I'm gonna actually go back and
um,
write them down so I can go watch them on YouTube. Some of them
yeah,
are.
I will write you for the
Yeah,
autograph.
yeah, that'd
And
be fantastic. Yeah. So
yeah, there's a lot. And
when did you start? When did you decide that you were going to put together your own band and make this a career for yourself?
Ah, sorry, I just add something. Olivier Kerourio, a jazz harmonica player, amazing. And for the jazz, also one with, I learned also some stages of jazz. Sébastien Charlier, he
Mhm.
is playing some pure jazz music. It's very, absolutely amazing too. I think I will lose my head after this question.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to set you up.
No, no, it's all right.
That's an
I
extensive
hope
list.
just that my colleagues and harmonica players in France won't be so too hard with me. And so
They
sorry in advance. But what I can say in this thematic is that in France, there's a federation of harmonica. The name is Harmonica of France Federation.
Mhm.
And there's also another association where I'm a member. It's Harmonica du Lac à Charavine. Harmonica du Lac à Charavine. And in fact, this association is just promoting harmonica in France as the Federation of Harmonica. And there's all the names of harmonica players who are right in there of what's happening in France. And I think it's interesting to just share with people that organization because it's really a central point to talk about harmonica in France. There's a lot of informations, and so there's a lot of persons there. I'm thinking about. If I say all the names, it
Should
will. My head will be. Off. I
no,
will
I totally
tell
stand.
some ones and don't others. It's Jean Brunet, the president of the federation, for example, Jean Brunet. There's Guy Dallène, the president of Harmonica du Lac à Charavine, who also is a vice president of the federation. There's also Jean Labre, for example, who is a member too of the federation and harmonica player, and there's a lot of persons, in fact.
Yeah, no
So
shortage.
for your other question,
Well, there's no
um,
shortage of great harmonica players in France. That's clear. That's a great list. Yeah, I'll have to get that list from you, and I'll post it in
yeah,
the show notes. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, with pleasure,
So,
and
so you had a
you
lot
will
of
see the
inspiration.
links.
Yeah, for sure. You had a lot of inspiration around you. Clearly, you had a lot of support. Your parents were clearly very supportive, and a lot of players around you. Great instruction. At some point, the obvious choice was then I start a band, right? And you did this.
Yeah, and it wasn't like that. In fact, when I was a girl, I was playing with a band every 3 months, in fact. And after that, I was just saying myself, okay, I would like to make a concert. Okay, what could we do? And one day, they told me, okay, do you want to make a really first part at the moment where the curtains are off and you are just playing 2 or 3 songs to open the night and the evening, the music evening. And my first concert was with a guitar player, just the two of us, and playing 3 songs for the blues festival of Vauréal, a town in France
Mhm.
close to Paris. And it was my really first concert. And after that, I also did others, and I was just making rehearsals every 2 weeks or every weeks with some musicians, and we are playing with in clubs, bars for not serious thing, but it was just enjoying music and live music.
Mm-hmm.
And at home, the phone was ringing. It was at the time of MySpace. Wow, it's a long time ago.
Right.
Do you remember the time when Facebook didn't exist?
Yes, I do.
I
Yes,
knew
I
that.
do. Yeah.
It was my beginnings.
Mm.
And I had a MySpace account and with a phone number, and people were calling at home saying, okay, yes, Rachel could come on our country festival, and Rachel could come to do an evening another way and another place, or for a festival close. It was close. It was in the 27 department in France, in fact, just at the west of Paris, 100 kilometers on the west. And step by step, I did 1 concert a year, 2 concerts, three, four, five. And after that, during the same time, I precise, I was on the tatami because I started judo at 5 also. So I was really invested in sport,
Uh-huh.
and I was just my days were school, of course,
Right.
because you don't have choice of that. Harmonica
Uh-huh.
and judo. So I started by school. After I went to the training of judo. At when I was a girl, it was little girl. It was 2 times a week. Then after, it was every day.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
it was a lot of charge. And after, when I came back to the sport, I was playing harmonica. So my days were really full, and it was a heavy schedule. But
Yeah,
I
sure.
was really happy like that, and my concerts were um, well just like that with the competitions of
Mhm.
judo.
Okay.
Okay, and that's why at the beginning I was in competition of judo. The week after it was a concert. The week after it was on a Wednesday training camp or competition of judo, and after another concert, then more rehearsals between all of that. And so I didn't feel the moment where I decided really to make music my life. It was an idea I had in my mind for years, since always, if I can say. It was just growing up in my head years after years, because I was in the French national team of judo, and really I was I did 3 hours or 4 hours of training a day, more all things, complementary things, running, uh, making musculation, and
Uh-huh.
all the things around, and more music. And during some years, I did everything in the same time. And after I was on the French, I won the French championships several times, and I
You
did
were you were on
international
the
competitions.
you were on the French national team, correct?
I was, yes, on the French national team, and
You're such an
um,
overachiever. I love this. You're an over Yeah, you're good at everything. Yeah.
and I stopped my career of judo after the World Championships. I was two
Mhm.
at the World Championships. And after that, I understood that I couldn't continue the both in the same time. I had to make a choice. It was like that, and I chose music naturally, because music, you can do it all your life. And judo at 30 years old, I think that's great. You can stop after. It's a really violent sport,
Uh-huh.
and it's true that even if I've stopped young, in fact, my judo career, I feel the effects of training, intensive training. And I think that a sport, when you are young, that's great. When you are making great things, it's awesome and amazing. But it's true that after, you have to be careful with your physic integrity, and it's important to take care of you too.
Right.
So naturally, I thought that music was my life, and at this moment, I concentrated everything to create and make my first songs, and really invest myself in that music life and way. And at this moment, we did a lot of concerts, so it was really a great starting.
Uh-huh.
And after years, I did some other things. After I came back on my studies, and get my degree, and university high degree. And so
Yeah.
I was continuing to make things in parallel. I don't know
Parallel,
this
sure.
word in English.
Uh-huh.
Parallel, yeah.
Same here. Yeah.
Step by step. Uh, Competition of judos, then music, and university came back. And because after my I don't know how to say in English. I don't know what is the equivalent, but in France we have the bac, and after that you get at the university for the license. And
Okay.
so when I was really making music always, I was a little bit less interested by the license at the university, but I came back after
Nice.
on the master. And yeah, it's really some projects of life who are going in the same direction, and it's just one same story from the beginning to the end. And there's not a day where you are telling yourself, okay, I will make concerts from now on. No, you are already making concerts step by step. You are already starting to make your work, your job, in fact, making music, learning things to people, making, discovering harmonica, blues music, creating, making music for others. For example, there's a lot of activity around music. So I'm trying to do all I can
Mhm.
to create musics for who is wanting,
Right,
making
right.
projects, making music for myself, creating for cities. Now it was just we are late with the context. We took a little late again, and but my new album will be released soon on numeric platforms. More a library of harmonica music, which is a second project, will be a small album too. It's some musics that I'm playing. It's all around harmonica.
Mhm.
And those musics, the goal that I had when I recorded those kind of things was to just have the pleasure to record my harmonica as I'm playing for myself, or for example on the live stream, the daily live stream, it's just some small shots of my playing when I'm just thinking of playing for music, not thinking about, yeah, we need the first part of the song with a chorus here, and thinking to the radio edit and all those things who are just different. So my album is one side, this library is other side, and I also did a new single who is called Bubbles, and he is online of my website. Yeah, what I can say on those albums is everything is listenable, available to listen
Uh-huh.
on my website
Okay.
and on the SoundCloud. And I think, yes, at the beginning I just put everything online, and during the months of April now we will uh, release it on the numeric platforms. And for those who want really to help, they can, for example, buy song by song. It's like a shop online to buy the songs. It's how to say, it's just a compliment. It's a way to buy something if people want to support, in fact. And yeah, there's also the daily live streams, united in sound with Hohner.
Uh,
We are making from more of 1 year now, and there's some small pauses sometimes because sometimes I'm running everywhere making projects. Back in that, and I don't arrive to do everything, but in the usual way at 7 p.m. French time. So I think that's for you. It's noon.
uh, I think
Yeah,
depending on where you are
7
in
hours
Nashville, where
before.
I'm at 2
Yeah,
p. 2 p.m. I think. No,
yeah.
no, noon. You're right. Yeah, we worked
No,
on.
noon.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. You're right. Absolutely right. Uh, depending on the
And
time.
so, yeah, the live streams with Horror are always running every day. And on the Sunday, since the last week, I did something special for the first players, the young players of harmonica. Every sense of the word, young by age or young by years of playing, whatever, but just for making, showing my approach of my first approach of the instrument. It's a little photograph on what I think it's important to start understanding in the instrument, which, when you just put making music for the first time.
Mhm.
And the goal is to realize something nice and clear with a small aesthetic, a little song like that, really short, but yeah, nice. It's just breathing in your instrument in rhythm,
Yeah.
and with small effects, the discovering of for example, a little wah wah, something like that. So those are really easy things, but for the young players. And this is on Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. for French time. 4 p.m. for French time.
Okay.
So it's 10 o'clock for you. No, no, no,
9.
no, no, nine, nine. Yeah, you're
It's-
right. Nine.
I'm getting it. Wow, Rochelle, there's so much there to unpack. So much great information, and your energy is amazing. I can see you how you get so much done because you're very you have a lot of energy and you're very enthusiastic, and it's very it's catching. It's like I'll catch more of that, and be more productive myself. But I can see how you get so much done. It's quite impressive. If you don't mind, I'd like
Thank
to
you very
comment.
much.
You're very welcome. I'd like to comment on a couple of those things that I just found sort of fascinating. Um, your judo experience, and I wondered, with martial arts, it seems like that there's a lot of life lessons that go along with martial arts as well as just training in self-defense. Were you able to extract any sort of any of that knowledge? Did that help you with your live performance, with the way you perform on stage? Did it have any influence on you at all?
Yes, of course, there's a relationship between all your sides of life. In fact, everything is influencing everything in your life. Judo influenced me in music, and music also, maybe in the other side of judo, it was my moment. I needed music when I was a judoka because I needed to think about another thing.
Yeah.
It's strange, but when you are all day at the training, thinking about what you have to work on,
Mhm.
technique, fighting, physic training, um, it's huge work. And the fact to just putting your mind, going out of that and doing everything else but no sport, it's a really relaxing thing and a great thing. And I think that the fresh side of myself I kept, and the enthusiasm I kept during I was making judo every day, was also coming from the fact that I was able to, when I came back home, it was just put the kimono off and say, okay, I will do something else.
Mhm.
And I think this is really important to, when you have a project that you are just believing on a lot, and that's when you are just under pressure for university, for I don't know what, you need to just keeping some small pages of, okay, I just relaxing my mind and thinking everything, another thing, and just breathing a little bit,
Right.
because those moments will after give you another look and reading on your main project and on what you are doing, what's happening, why, how, and answering some simple answers. You just were not seeing it because you are just the head on, and it gives you the ability to take a little bit of wow, yeah, looking
Yeah.
from another side.
Exactly. Right. Perspective.
So this is in that sense, and in the other sense, what judo brought me to music. Judo is a sport of repetitions. You have the movement, the repetition of movements, and in harmonica it's the same. In a music instrument practice, it's the same. When you are playing guitar, piano, I don't know, you have to work on your instrument every day, without thinking if it's a pleasure or not. In fact, you are just taking your instrument and playing something, and it's really important to accept that everything is not coming now. It's not
Right.
possible.
Mhm.
It's more than 20 years that I'm playing harmonica. I think now it's 24 years I'm playing harmonica. And after 24 years of harmonica practice, I can play things that I couldn't play years before. Sorry,
Mhm.
and during the years before, I was just happy of what I was playing, and told myself, yes, tomorrow I will play another thing. And you are not feeling your progresses just right now. You are not watching you progressing. But when you are listening a first record years ago and a record of you now, there you can read your progress.
Hmm.
And what is hard today, I think, most of all for the young generations, is that with all the abilities we have with internet, the screens, documentaries, lessons, tutorials, all the it's a big it's a data center
Hmm.
finally. When I was um, a learner, I didn't have that. There were not explanations on internet to learn bendings and everything. There's nothing, just the books. It was
Right.
great because before me there were no books.
Right.
In my generation, I had books, but before, no. And after, the new generations had every YouTube resources and everything online, and it's crazy. But what you have to pay attention of is all of this great big um, weight of informations is terrific. That's absolutely amazing. But it's a chance, and also it gives you the inconsciently as a sensation that you will get it just right now in 3 minutes. You are just reading it and following the video one time, and it's all right. But in harmonica, the band is not coming like that.
No.
And for example, and for a violinist, for example, the right tuning on the is not coming like that. And it's true that we have to reassure the persons with the fact that learning an instrument of music is an art, like a martial art. For example, you are not getting your black belt in 2 days. No, it's 10 years.
Hmm.
Yes, but a lot of things in life are taking 10 years. It's an image, but it's true.
Right.
And it's true that judo gave me also the patience to go step by step. I was a white belt, then white and yellow, then yellow, then black, then.
Right.
But it's true that it's give you the also when you are a young child, judo is giving you the force and the education to go little but regularly,
Hmm.
step by step, effort after effort, and taking pleasure also in effort. And one thing which is the same thing on stage and on the tatami is that those are two different places, but the common point is that in the judo, when the person in the center, I don't know in English, I'm losing my word. It's the person who is saying "Ajime," and
Yeah, yeah, the
you know,
referee. The referee?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, the referee. Thank
Okay.
you. When he is saying "Go, go to fight," you have to be there,
Right.
not in another place in your head. No, it's now, 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 and now. If you are not here, it's lost. So,
Right. Right.
this is a common point of concentration with the stage. When you are coming on stage, it's your time. You have some seconds to say, okay, I'm going on stage. I know what I will do. I repeat it for that.
Mhm.
I did a lot of rehearsals. I'm with my friends. We all worked, and it's a moment you have to just be concentrated on what you will do and what you are doing. And it's the common point between the sport in general, not only martial arts, even if in martial arts, but in football is the same, in fact. Huh? I mean that, for example, when you are just working on techniques, special techniques to put the ball in the goal, for example, or to work your ogoshi or uchimata technique in judo, it's the same. You will make the movement 1,000 times if it's needed, and 2,000 times the week after if it's needed, until it's perfect.
Mhm.
And you have the patience to wait, your mind and your body being able to make his way and get the perfection. But it's taking time,
Mhm.
and you have to be in French we will say resilient.
Resilient.
Resilient in English
Uh-huh.
also, yeah.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Resilient, yes. And in music is the same, in fact, when you are working the technique on harmonica and instrument. And I think that the last thing I would say about the learning of harmonica is that if you are just making something simple and beautiful, it's perfect. You don't have to know how to play overblows or advanced, really advanced techniques to play something great, clear, and just nice.
Mhm.
And at the beginning, playing a music instrument is to do something aesthetic.
Mhm.
After, step by step, you will study, you will work on the advanced techniques, you will suffer also before
Right.
winning
Uh-huh.
the fact to make those techniques. But in this period, you don't have to be always just trying to make your overblow every day, every day. You have also to see other things and work on what you know, because the key in sport is to work on your best technique, winning technique, in fact, and to work on it until it will be the absolute perfection. We will work every time, and in everything is the same. And finally, in harmonica, you will work on what is fine, what is good for you, on the points where you are feeling well. And even if you are learning difficult things, you will always after make a conclusion of all you know and all you need, and saying, okay, now I will play a song for my pleasure, because music is for enjoying.
Wow, I love to hear you talk about your approach to harmonica. This is like a masterclass because I think it can give people, you mentioned perspective, and it can give a lot of harmonica players who are advanced players and just beginners perspective on how to enjoy the ride of becoming
Yeah.
a good harmonica player or a good guitarist or whatever it may be. But having that perspective and coming at it every day, just chipping away at the mountain a little bit.
Yeah, you have to coming back every day.
Hmm.
You need to be patient and just enjoying what you are doing. It's really important. I always done music for fun
Hmm.
and judo for fun. It was because it was a pleasure, also it was a passion, and it's important to find something in life where you are passionate for, whatever the thematic. Because in each thematic you will have performance, excellence, work on things. Even if you are a photograph, for example, the art is in every works and every types of specialties,
Hmm.
sport, music, all the arts. It's the same general um, idea, in fact, even if it's different in the daily work, of course. But when you are playing harmonica, it's just for pleasure.
Yeah, right. And you should enjoy that, right? There's the moment for that as well. Absolutely. Well, you so over this last you mentioned sort of taking you might spend 10 years doing something and becoming better over 10 years or in your case even 24 years. There's been a specific amount of time the last 10 years where you've released well you're about to release your third record. Your first record came out in 2012, I believe, Profile,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
That's right.
over the
Yeah.
last 10 years, you've got three projects that have come out. Tell me how they have differed from your first release, Profile, to your new release that should be coming out. It's
Mhm.
available on your website, but it's not available everywhere yet, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's only on the website for the moment, but I think during this month we will be able to put it online
Okay.
on Spotify, Deezer, all the platforms, and
Right.
yeah.
Wonderful.
But yeah, the evolution is low because when it was my first record, we were a lot on concert and on the road.
Hmm.
In I think we did during years after, not all in one year. It was during those 10 years.
Sure.
We did concert in 14, I think.
Okay. 14.
countries in the world, or
Yes.
yeah, between 11 and 14 countries in the world.
Mhm.
And it was a chance to travel and to meet other nationalities,
Yeah.
and making concerts in front of different persons who were hearing this with different ears, in fact, and the reaction was different. Everything was different, but it was an extraordinary experience each time.
Hmm.
And the evolution is step by step, and now with those new releases,
Hmm.
the song side is a lot of years of creation too. Everything is I started to work on the new songs during we were playing with the first CD, and there is all those years we are playing on stage. I was thinking about the new songs also, and make some tries on stage also, and make some, yeah, just researches.
Sure.
And after you are coming in studio and playing, recording, and making your stuff.
Hmm.
uh, and I think the evolution is a lot of also, if you are comparing the first records to now the actual records, the difference is that in the way of making the songs, the way of making is different.
Okay. Well, let's
Also the
talk
team
about
is
that. You're
different.
also writing. You're writing a lot of the songs, right? Now,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah,
first
yeah,
record
yeah,
you were.
yeah. And I'm writing too with Philippe Hervouet,
Uh-huh.
and he is the director of the music also on the songs album.
Okay.
For the library, it's all made by myself, and for example, and it's this way of creation is also with the thought of the fact that yes, we would like to make some video clip. Maybe why not? We hope we could uh, go on big medias. Who knows?
Right.
Or in radio. And but if you want to put the songs on radio, we have to try to be enough. Competitive with
Mhm.
other artists is difficult.
Right.
You have to have your own balance between the art, which is really free, and the business industry, which is different.
Right.
It's two worlds who are needing one and each other. Both are
Mhm.
needing the art world and the business art world are needing
Right.
one to from the other one. But it's true that when you are thinking like an artist, you are not thinking like a business.
Right. Right.
And so for the songs album, we tried to put those able to go on medias, radios, and trying to think for
Sure.
songs like that.
And
And for the library, I tried to just doing my own stuff with my own imaginary about harmonica, and on the new single Bubbles too, because I was just it was a melody I sung just one day like that, just recorded on my phone, and I say, "Ah, I love that. Okay, I love that. Okay," and I was just doing other instruments and make some things, and okay, oh, that's nice. And after I played harmonica, the riff of the harmonica, and I say, okay, I love that. And then I was just it's the story of a girl who is making bubbles, child bubbles,
uh-huh.
at
Sure.
the window.
Uh-huh.
What do you want to do, to
Yeah.
say? It's just me
Yeah.
in my little place
Uh-huh.
upstairs, up the tower, just watching the world by my window and say, okay, I don't know how to do. I'm just making bubbles.
Right.
It was the idea. It was just smilings,
Sure.
and so just to tell you now, the songs I'm making are a lot like that. And the period of the album, it's much more serious
Mhm.
and much more worked also, because we took a lot of time to do it. And during the interval between those albums and the first one, there's also an EP It was the four first songs of the song album, and it was Sweet Angel, a French song wrote by Philippe Hervouet, who is the author, and I did the music. I
Okay.
was the composer of this song, and We Can Move Mountains and Sweet Angel, and I already said it. The last one is Cyclones,
Cycle.
and the album is Cyclones Eye,
Right.
and it was a small EP, and I chose to start with this EP to present the album and just to make it sharing to share the new style
Mhm.
with concert organizers and radios, and just to have to feel the temperature at first, and also to bring a new breath to the concerts and the career, in fact, because you are always trying to meet new persons, making concerts in new places, present yourself a new send a new presentation to some people you are not knowing already,
Yeah.
and until the moment you can talk about your project and meet some persons because they are just listening to you, and that's absolutely wonderful. And so in that ways, all the stuffs are running
Uh,
in the same time, and step by step, you are making your way.
that's right. That
It's how I lived it.
Right, that's how I lived it. I love that. That's a great quote. I can relate to that as well. My band did that. Actually released two EPs between our last two big records, and the two EPs were sort of a glimpse into what this new record was going to be, and it gave us a lot of life on the road. It afforded us a lot of things to talk about, fresh new music in the show. And we workshopped, we worked on those songs on the road. And by the time the new record came out, it was just so much better. So I love that approach. It's great for promotion too, right?
Yeah,
Really great
it's
idea.
especially for promotion,
Hmm.
and it permits you to keep for later the real official going out of your I don't know how to say in English. The facts of
Hmm.
creating songs or arts, your creations. In fact,
Right.
you reserve the release of your creations for later, the official release. But you are just already talking about your new creations and do them live to
Live. Yeah.
professionals or
Right.
audience. Hmm?
Yeah.
That's important.
It's important, very important. Yes, you have a lot of different influences, and I hear that in your playing, and I love how you're able to seamlessly integrate all of those influences. But I'd like to hear from you. How would you describe your style on harmonica?
That's a great question. um, when I started, as I told you before, I was a big fan and a listener of Stevie Wonder, Herbie Hancock, Ray Charles, Aretha Franklin, um, and also jazz, gospel, a lot of gospel,
Mhm. I,
jazz too.
yeah.
Mm. And after, when I was a teenager, I was interested by old bluesmen, but only after. I don't know why, but it
Interesting.
was maybe more difficult for me as a little girl. I was really catched by
Uh huh. Yeah.
melodies, and it's true that the old bluesmen there was less melodies in the songs, maybe not less melodies, but less clear for a little girl.
Hmm.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
And and that's why after years of practice I was interested by Robert Johnson, Little Walter, Sonny Boy, Big Mama Thornton, for example, Sister Rosetta Tap, I love her.
Love. Isn't she great? She's so.
Yeah, and after Bo Diddley,
Uh-huh.
um, and a lot of bluesmen like that. Also, French songs. When I was a girl, I was listening to French songs. Dutronc. I don't know if you know him. Jacques Dutronc.
I don't
It's a
know.
very famous French singer.
Okay. Maybe I
Yeah, with
heard. I
terrific songs.
I love French music, and I also love hearing French people singing in French. Like
Mm.
I'm not discriminatory at all. I'm open to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anything, but for some reason, I of all the languages, I love hearing people sing in French. It's gorgeous. I'm also
That's
a big,
great.
this is sort of a side note. I'm a big Marianne Cotillard fan, and I believe she's French as well. And she's been in a couple of my favorite movies, a Woody Allen movie called Midnight in Paris, and she was in a great
Mm.
movie called A Good Year. And the soundtrack to both of those films are all this wonderful, French music with these great French singers. Edith Piaf for one, many others. It's a very romantic language, and it's a very musical language as well. It just sounds like poetry coming out. I love it.
Wow.
Yeah,
Impressive. Thank
yeah,
you.
absolutely.
I have to sing in French more often.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's a beautiful. You also sing in English, and are you singing in English and in French on the new record?
Yeah, yes, yes, yes.
When did you
But
start?
more in English than in French. In French.
Really? Okay. All right. I've
I
noticed
don't know why.
I started touring in Germany in 2012, and Germany, Austria, Switzerland, the Netherlands, that portion of Europe. And I noticed on the radio there was a lot of music in English, a lot of German artists or German
Mm.
speaking artists singing in English. But over the course of the last 10 years, I have seen that change a great deal. It seems like it's sort of flipped now. They're singing more and more in their native language. And that's great. I think that's fantastic. You shouldn't
Yeah.
just sing in English, right? Come on. But anyway, I sort of interrupted you, and you were talking about what you felt. If you were going to describe your personal style, what you would say that.
Yeah, my influences are so Stevie Wonder, Charlie McCoy, Tusselmans.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure. Okay.
For the bigger ones, and also Greg, of course, it was my teacher when I was a girl. So
Uh huh.
Jean-Jacques Milteau also, of course, and yeah, my style is, I think.
It's your
It's
own.
a
It's
little
your
bit
own.
blues and also pop and also jazz because of improvisation. I'm improvisating all time when I'm playing,
Hmm.
and I have my main themes sometimes, but other times I'm just playing what I had in what I have in my head in the moment.
Right.
So I love that.
I love that too.
And thank you. And after I have also yeah, folk influences, world influences. When I was a child, I listened also to French Celtic music. There was some songs for children, sorry, song for children, and I was just it was some small Celtic musics, um, and my style would be rock, blues, folk,
Hmm.
and actual musics,
Yeah.
and
It's
soul a
the
little
trick
bit,
there is the trick there is.
country also.
I hear country there too. Totally. I can hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely hear that. And I think that the trick is to be able to put all of those elements into your stew and make your.
Maybe jazz pop.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, you're
more rock, country,
yeah,
folk,
yeah,
jazz, blues.
yeah. Maybe. Yes, but I mean, I hear all those influences. I love your style. Whatever if we shouldn't have to put a name on it, but it's just a great style, and it's all your own. It's your style.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Let's talk about your singing for a little bit.
Yeah.
You started singing when you were. Did you start singing
I'm
at?
a child also. I sang before, and I took singing lessons at 14.
Okay.
Yeah, but after I sang every time on stage, it was as just like this.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
harmonica is like a second voice, and so it's the same for me when I'm singing. After I'm playing harmonica, it's a really quick change.
Hmm.
For me, it's the same. In fact, when you are playing harmonica, it's like a main and it's a main soloist. It's as
Sure.
a guitar or saxophone, and
Yeah, I agree. I agree. They go they go hand in hand. Yeah, you can play anytime you want to. That's what this is for. Yeah, that's
yeah.
great. Yeah. Uh,
And you play with other instruments. We are playing some parts with saxophones and trombones, trumpets sometimes, and with guitar also. We love to play guitar and harmonica. That's great.
Absolutely. And I see you're playing a golden melody. You're actually on the Hohner Golden Melody box, which is a huge honor.
Yeah, it's a huge, very huge honor. I'm so honored of that.
And so well.
Thanks a lot to Hohner.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot to Hohner for that.
Hohner is a sponsor of this podcast or this webcast, and I love those guys at Hohner. They're so supportive. It's a great community that they're sort of, I don't know, keeping together. I mean, I feel like during the pandemic, they've been very vocal and very outgoing and helping create communities for harmonica players. And I feel like I've learned a lot about other harmonica players during the pandemic because of the guys at Hohner. So, kudos to them. And so I want to know what is it that you love about the Golden Melody, and do you play any other harmonicas by Hohner?
No, it's the harmonica I'm using since I'm a little girl.
Okay.
When I met the Golden Melody, I was very young, and I never played on other things. Like, it's really the instrument, my favorite. It's really my favorite model. It's here, it's closed, and the advantage is that you are losing a little bit less air. It's not a loss of air, it's just the fact that you will need less air to play in this model than in a marimba, for example, or an open space here. And what I'm liking is the warm, cute sound, really gentle, and the holes here are a little bit more thin in this way. A little bit more thinner, and so also it's reducing the amount of air you are needing to play in it, and so I can play very intensive. I can have a very intensive playing with this Golden Melody, but without using a lot of air. You are making difference between breathing hard and playing intensive and with a lot of power and effects, and you can really play really a big sound, really hard sound, a blues one, without breathing a lot.
Right.
And you are breathing a lot more, yes, of course, but not. It's it's really reasonable, a reasonable balance, and that's why I love a lot, of course. And the reeds are really flexible, and for the bands, it's much more easier. In my sense, after I know that harmonica is a really personal instrument. It's biological, if I can say. The form of your body and mouth and everything will influence your choice of harmonica. But I think always this is the best for me, and Hohner is absolutely amazing also on tunings. The tuning is absolutely wonderful, and I'm using also the low keys. You can see it on the videos, or I have it one here, this one, for example.
Okay.
It's the one I'm using on the Hohner video Masters of the Harmonica. We did in, I think, 2029. It's a long time ago.
Okay.
No, 2009.
Yeah.
Something like that. And it's a low one, and as the Golden Melody is not going in the low keys, I'm using some marimba. For example, this is a C. It's the marimba 12 holes, and I love for the low keys. I'm a big fan of the Thunderbird harmonica.
Right.
Thunderbirds. It's
Great harp.
and you have some more low. Where is this one? Oh. Non, c'était pas celui-là. This one, maybe? No? This one?
I love that you have your harps right there with you. Fantastic.
example.
I love it. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. How does the 12-hole Marine Band? Could you give that a demo for us? Rachelle, that's oh my God, that's so fantastic. You're unbelievable. I'm so grateful to have had you on the Harpslinger podcast. Thank you so much for being here. You're truly a genius and a virtuoso. I'm so grateful. And your outlook on
Thank
life
you
is
very much. I'm very
yes,
happy
I love it.
to
That was
be there
just
with you and to play for your podcast. That's really amazing.
yeah, well, I mean, it's amazing because of great artists like yourself. So I do appreciate it. I hope we can do this again sometime. There's still so much about your career that I'd love to talk about. So we'll definitely put that on the calendar for some time in the near future, if that's okay.
Yeah, with a
Yeah.
great pleasure, of course.
So, let's tell people where they can go to buy your merchandise, your music.
Yeah,
You also have
yeah.
instructions,
You
right?
can listen to it.
Right.
Yeah, listen to it on my website and feel free to connect on my live sessions from Hohner.
Yes.
Always, of course, united
Always.
in sound. And yeah, it's a great pleasure for participating to your podcast. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you.
I'm really, really happy. It's a huge pleasure for me to be here with you. So thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And yes, hope to do it again another time.
We will do that. Absolutely. Thanks again. Peace and love to you, Rochelle. We appreciate your time.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.